Hi, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today we are going to be a little bit wicked, indulge in some me time, relax and unwind. As always, play when you're comfortable, modify when you need to, rest when you need to. You ready? Let's hit the mat. We're going to begin today's practice coming into a comfortable cross-legged easy sit, Sukhasana. Find your way down onto the mat. Cross your right leg in front of the left. Sitting up nice and tall. Root through your bum bones equally. Start to look for a beautiful sense of length through the trunk and place your hands, palms down on your shoulders. Start to use your elbows to begin to trace a circular pattern. Moving in one direction for roughly 10 rounds. Inhaling for half of your circle, exhaling for the other as the shoulders gently rise and fall. Then change direction. Then come to stillness, take a big breath in and float your elbows as high as you can to the sky. And on an exhale, drop them long and heavy towards the floor. Then relax your hands, palms down to the tops of your knees. Take a big breath in, and on an audible exhale, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder and take a pause. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and take a pause. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do that again. Exhale to drop and hold. Inhale to come back. Exhale to drop right. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do that one more time, but we'll look for a little bit more stretch. As you drop left, take the left hand, curl it around the head, reaching for the right ear, and just give a gentle tug of the ear towards the ceiling at a slight angle to get a little bit more stretch up the right side of your neck. Then relax your left hand, take a big breath in. On an exhale, make your right ear heavy towards your right shoulder. Take the right hand, wrap it around the head, reaching to the left ear, and then gently tug the left ear up towards the ceiling at a slight angle. Inhale to come back to center. Let's begin to move in a seated cat-cow. Take a big breath in, thinking of hollowing out your back and opening up your chest and your throat to the sky, making your elbow points heavy to the floor, making your shoulders heavy to the floor. And then on an exhale, hollow out your belly, round out your back, nod your chin to your chest. Start to play with that seated cat-cow, beginning to find a breath ratio that works for you. It could be 1-to-1, it could be 1-to-2, favoring either the cow or the cat. Then come to a nice tall seat. Take a big breath in and on an exhale, twist right, grabbing for the outside of your right knee with the left hand and reach the right arm behind you. Pausing here. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do that a few more times, finding a rhythm of your own. inhale, peel back to center. Last twist. This time, dropping your right fingertips to the floor behind you, using that right arm as a splint and stretching your spine as long as you can towards the sky. Maintaining that equal bum bone connection to the mat. Then gently unravel your twist and unravel the cross of your legs, giving the legs a little shake up. Sit up nice and tall, bringing the legs into a soft parallel line. We'll construct ourselves a little spine stretch. Sit up nice and tall, pretending that you've got a small basketball on your lap. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, hollow out over that ball. Pause in your cat-like stretch. And then come to a neutral spine by dragging your fingertips towards your hip line, restacking your shoulders over your hips. Feet stay actively braced the whole time. Let's do that twice more. Then let's add the second layer to our spine stretch. Big stretch up towards the sky on the inhale. Exhale to hollow out in your cat-like stretch. Then slowly start to drag the fingertips towards your foot line, starting to look for length in the lower spinal area. Bleed your way back to your cat stretch, dragging the fingertips towards your hip line before restacking and realigning your whole spine. Twice more. Big breath in. Hollow out over your ball in your cat stretch. Drag forward. Look for that length in your lower back. Trace your path back. Cat stretching before you restack and realign. Big breath in. Hollow out over your ball. Slide your fingers forward. Look for that work in the lower back. Trace your path back. Cat stretching before you restack and realign. Big breath in. Let's add the third portion of the puzzle. Hollow out over your ball. Start to slide your fingers forward. And then take that stretch from the lower back, leading all the way towards the nape of your neck as you float your hands alongside your ears and reach for the corners. Then hollow back out in your cat stretch before restacking, realigning as you find your way back to your original seat. Big breath in, hollow out, slide your fingers forward. Then give me lift off. Look for that beautiful stretch through the entire spine. Keep your belly button fused towards your spine. Then gently reconnect to the mat. Hollow out before you restack and realign. One last time. Big breath in. Hollow out. Slide your fingers forward. Right lift off. Stretch that spine from base to top. Then hollow out before you restack and realign. Float the 2 feet softly together. Find Jupiter Mudra in front. Interlacing your fingers, bringing your index fingers together and crossing the thumb. Take a big breath in as you start to play with a little seesaw motion, giving me an L lean forward and an L lean back. Looking for length in the spine, so not collapsing the trunk. And trying to keep those hands locked at about shoulder height. Exhale as you lean forward over your toes. Inhale as you lean back, making space in the belly. Maybe starting to look for an audible breath, maybe playing with a little ujjayi exhalation. Constricting the larynx slightly, making almost a sobbing sound at the back of the throat. Then end for me in the back lean. Draw your legs into a tabletop boat and hold for 10 seconds. If you need to, you can unwrap your hands and hold onto the back of your thighs. Use that strong zippering up action from your pubis towards your belly button line. Then ever so gently reconnect to the mat, brace and kick into your heels as you stretch your index fingers over your toes and try to frame your ears on either side with your hands. Looking for almost an echo of that spine stretch that we played with earlier on. And then sit up nice and tall. Relax your elbows to the mat behind you and give yourself a double leg lift, bracing your core, relaxing your chin towards the chest and holding for at least 10 seconds without collapsing your back line towards the mat. Strong core on this one. Then reground to the mat. We're coming into a modified elbow side plank on the right. You're going to flip right, readjusting your right elbow. Press yourself off the mat, either keeping both hands connected to the mat. You can restack your feet one on top of the other, or top leg in front of the bottom leg, or bend the bottom leg and extend the top. Maybe bringing your left arm close to your ear and just taking a beautiful extended side plank stretch here. Trying to keep your right hip off the floor, core strongly braced. Give me a long stretch through the heels of your feet to the very tips of your fingertips on the left arm. Reground to the mat. Find your way back into a tall seat and press into a butterfly line. First finding a gentle diamond frame, bringing the soles of both feet together. And then just starting to massage that bum as you rock bum cheek to bum cheek. And as the groin muscles start to soften, warm up and open, you can walk your bum closer towards your feet. Then come to stillness and just hold, pressing the 2 feet together, allowing the knees to track nice and wide. Then ease your way from here back into Sukhasana, your original seat, this time stacking left leg in front of right. Take a moment to just adjust your bum bones on the mat. Make sure that you're equally weighted. Root through those bum bones, so send energy not only down into the mat, but also start to send energy up towards the sky through your crown. Look for that sense of length in the trunk, and then place your hands palms down on your shoulders and begin to circle through the elbows. Maybe tracing the circumference of a ball that's perhaps just a little bit bigger than a tennis ball. Traveling for roughly 10 revolutions in one direction and then changing and tracing in the opposite direction. The whole time maintaining that tall sense of trunk on the mat. Then come to stillness, take a big breath in, taking your elbows as high as you can towards the sky. And then on an exhale, drop your elbows to the floor. Melt your shoulders away from your ears, pause in the drop. And then relax your hands, palms down to the tops of your knees. Take a big breath in. On an exhale, make your right ear heavy towards your right shoulder. Pause. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, make your left ear heavy towards your left shoulder. We're going to do that twice more to each side. Big breath in. Find your drop on the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to drop on the left. Inhale, come back to center. Once you found your drop on the right, take the right hand, wrap it around your head, reach for the left ear, and begin to tug the left ear gently up towards the ceiling at a slight angle. Look for that stretch up the left side of your neck. Then let go. Inhale, bring your head back to neutral to do exactly the same on the second side. Find your way back to center. We're going to play with that seated cow cat. Inhale, thinking of hollowing out your back, opening up your chest and your chin to the sky as you fill your lungs to maximum capacity. And then on the exhale, hollow out your belly, round out your back, and really feel the back of the ribs popping through the skin. Then start to find a gentle seated cat-cow rhythm that works for you. If your practice is advanced, you could also use your bandhas and your locks every time you come into the cat, pulling up the pelvic floor, the mula bandha, squeezing in the diaphragm, the uddiyana bandha, and then applying the chin lock, the jalandhara bandha. Then releasing chin, diaphragm, and pelvic lock as you come back into your cow. Don't rush. Find the rhythm that works and resonates for you. Be wicked. Give yourself as much time as you need. There's no rush today. Indulge, relax, release. Then sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in on an exhale, twist left, grabbing for the outside of your left knee with your right hand, and then reach the left fingertips for the wall behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Do that a few more times, finding your rhythm. Pausing in the twist and reach, trying not to let the trunk fall in on itself, but rather looking for a sense of growing your spine towards the ceiling while holding that gentle twist. Looking for an active breath connection as you're playing. Then the next time you find yourself coming into the twist, pause for a moment before dropping the left fingertips to the floor, stretching as much as you can through the spine and keeping that opposite hand to knee tug going while growing your spine as much as you can, holding that soft twist. Then unravel your trunk and extend the legs long and lengthened on the mat, giving them a little shake out. Bring them into a gentle parallel line as we begin to build a spine stretch. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in to float your hands overhead. Exhale to cat stretch over a big ball. Then drag the fingertips towards your hip line and restack. Twice more. Big breath in. Hollow out. Drag towards center. Restack. Realign. Big breath in. Hollow out over your ball. Restack. Realign. Big breath in. Round out over your ball. This time start to slide your fingertips forward. Look for that work of that stretch in the lower back. Then begin to slide towards your hip line, cat stretching out before you restack and realign, keeping those feet actively braced the whole time. Big breath in, hollow out, slide forward, slide your fingers back towards your hip line, restack. Big breath in, hollow out over your ball, slide your fingers forward, slide back towards your hip line, cat stretching before you realign. Big breath in, hollow out over your ball, slide forward towards your toe line, then give me lift off, bring your ears, reach for the corners and stretch the spine from lower back towards the nape of your neck. Then reconnect to the mat. Cat stretch before you realign. Big breath in. Hollow out over your ball. Slide your fingers forward. Look for the lower back. Then lead that stretch from the lower back all the way towards your neckline as you float the hands and the arms alongside your ears. Reconnect to the mat. Cat stretching before you realign. One last time. Big breath in. Hollow out over your ball. Slide your fingers forward. Look for your lower back. Then lead that stretch from the lower back all the way towards your shoulder and your neckline. Reconnect to the mat. Cat stretch before you realign. Bring the 2 feet flush along the midline. Find Jupiter Mudra in front. And begin to play with that little seesaw. Reach over your toes. And then a little lean back. Trying to look for length in the spine and thinking I'll stretch forward and I'll stretch back. Exhaling as you lean forward over your toes. Inhaling as you lean back. Find your rhythm. Find your breath. Maybe using a little ujjayi exhalation. And in the lean back, draw your legs into a tabletop hold. Look for that engagement through your lower abs as you pull up an imaginary zip from your pubis towards your belly button line. Hold strong. Navasana boat. Then reconnect your feet to the mat. Brace as you extend the legs. Reach past your toes, trying to frame your ears on either side as you find an echo of that spine stretch. Reaching Jupiter Mudra for the corners. Then unravel your hands, sit up nice and tall, float your elbows to the mat behind you, pull up that zip from your pubis towards your belly button line to float both legs to the mat without collapsing your back line. So think bosom to sky as you find a double leg lift. You can think of this as a modification of fish pose, Motsyasana. Then relax your feet to the mat. Flip over onto the left, readjusting your left elbow using both hands to press your hips off the floor. And then maybe bringing that top arm nice and close to your ear and just pausing here in your extended side plank, trying to stretch up the right side of the body, finding the leg line that works for you, either stacking the legs or placing one leg in front of the other, or bending the bottom and extending the top. Find your way gently back to the mat and ease your legs into a soft diamond-like frame. Then start to rock your body weight bum cheek to bum cheek as you progressively creep your bum and your hands closer towards your leg line. Sitting up nice and tall in a butterfly line, pressing the soles of your feet actively together while trying to make the knees as heavy as you can to the floor. Then let's change our orientation on the mat, coming into a 4-point kneeling frame as we start to find a gentle working flow. Find a 4-point kneeling frame on the mat, hands stacking directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale as you come into a cow frame, thinking hollow back, taking your chin and your bum bones to the sky, breathing nice and deeply into the front of your ribs and feeling the stretch in the lower belly. Then on an exhale, round out into cat, thinking hollow belly and rounded back, nodding your chin towards your chest and feeling the back of your ribs popping through your skin. Inhale to find a neutral long tabletop line to the neck and the spine. Exhale to push back, bum to heel, keeping the parallel leg line as you come into a modified child stretch. Inhale to come through a tabletop line and bump the weight forward into your wrists as you come into a kneeling up dog, strong arms, strong belly. As you start to push back into 4-point kneeling, tuck your toes under, find a down dog frame. Take a big breath in and on an exhale, reach through hand to opposite ankle, or you could do thigh or calf. Reground to the mat and do the same thread on the opposite side. Find your way back into your pike position. Relax your knees to the floor. You can keep your toes tucked under or you can relax the feet as you support your lower back and come into a gentle camel, bumping your hips forward over your knees and taking a beautiful supported back bend. Then restack, realign your trunk, but keep your hands on your lower back. Take a little lunge step forward with the right leg, supporting the lower back as you curve slightly through the spine, thinking throat and chest opening to sky. Then ease your way back into a tall kneel, hands to prayer. Nod your chin to your chest, pause here, releasing the nape of your neck and trying to stack your shoulders, your hips and your knees in one long line. Then ease your way back to 4-point kneeling as we start to play with that flow again. Inhale to find your cow, pausing. Exhaling to hollow out in your cat. Inhale for a long tabletop line. Exhale to push back your child. Inhale for a kneeling up dog. Strong through the arms and the core, don't collapse. Exhale as you tuck your toes under, find your way into a down dog. Then give yourself a reach through, tapping hand to opposite leg, one on either side. Find your way back to 4-point kneeling, relaxing your feet or keeping the toes tucked under as you ease your way into a supported camel. Then nice tall kneel, keeping your hands on your lower back as you lunge step the left leg forward, come back into an almost cat-like or rather cow-like stretch. Then step both legs back into a high kneel, relax your arms at your side, bring your hands to prayer, nod your chin to your chest, take a moment. Find your way back to 4-point kneeling. Big breath in as you find your cow. Look for the belly. Exhale as you hollow out in cat. Inhale for a long tabletop stretch through the neck and the spine. Exhale to push back, bum to heel in an extended child stretch. Inhale for your modified kneeling up dog. Exhale as you pike into a down dog. Once you've found it, do a reach through to each side, tapping hand to maybe ankle or leg. Drop into a high kneel, relaxing your feet as you come into a supported camel. Then restack hips over knees. Take a little lunge step forward on the right. Come back into your curve through the spine. Make sure you've got knee over ankle on the lead leg. Then draw back into a full kneel. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Nod your chin to your chest and pause here. Looking for that long stack, shoulders, hips, knees. And then release into your neck. Ease your way back to 4-point kneeling. Big breath in as you find your cow and curve through the spine. Exhale as you find your cat stretch. Inhale for a long tabletop stretch through the neck and the spine, keeping belly to spine. Exhale to push back, bum to heel. Inhale for your kneeling up dog, strong through the arms and the core. Exhale to tuck your toes under, find your plank down dog position, and then give me a reach through, one on either side. Find your way to a high kneel, relaxing your feet and come straight into a supported camel back bend. Restack shoulders over hips. Take a little lunge step forward on the leg, keeping your hands on the lower back as you come back into a low lunge, looking for that opening through the chest and the throat center. Ease your way back into a high kneel, bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Give me an active exhale as you nod your chin towards your chest. Find your way back into 4-point kneeling. Let's run through that vinyasa one more time on each side. Inhale as you find your cow. Breathing nice and deeply into the front of your chest and into your belly. Exhale to hollow out in cat. Inhale for a nice long stretch in table through the neck and the spine. Exhale to push back, bum to heel as you find yourself a modified child, Balasana. Inhale as you find your way into a kneeling up dog. Exhale as you find a down dog pike, giving me an oblique reach through on either side. Come into a nice tall kneel, relaxing your feet, support your lower back as you find your way into camel. Restack hips over knees, take a little lunge step forward on the right, supporting the lower back as you come back into that back bend curve. Ease your way into a nice tall kneel, bringing your hands together in front of your heart while nodding your chin towards your chest and restacking shoulders, hips, knees. One last time on the left. Find your way to 4-point kneeling. Big breath in as you find your cow. Nice long lazy exhale as you hollow out in cat. Inhale, find a neutral long tabletop stretch through the neck and the spine. Exhale to push back, bum to heel. Inhale to find a kneeling up dog. Exhale as you down dog it, giving me an oblique reach through on either side. Find your way back into a nice tall kneel, relaxing your feet as you come into a supported camel stretch. Restack your shoulders, your hips and your knees. Take a little lunge step forward on the left. Come back into that beautiful cow-like stretch through the back. Then lead your way back into a tall kneel, bringing your hands together in front of your heart, nodding your chin to your chest, looking for that stack, shoulders, hips, knees. Then relax your hands to the mat. Step it wide into a deep squat. You can do a deep low to the mat or midway squat, or you can use a block as a seat. Try to come into a deep squat and just hold here for a few soft counts, using your elbow points and your triceps to actively press on the inside of your knees, taking a nice stretch into the inner thighs and the groin, while making your bum bones and your spine heavy to the mat. Take a couple of delicious, long, lazy breaths here while you hold Malasana deep squat. Then ease your way from here into a butterfly seat on the mat. You could keep both hands on the floor behind you, or maybe you want to elect to hold around the toes or the ankles. Maybe you'd like to use those elbows to press the knees away as you gently lean forward. Maybe a soft cat-like stretch through the back. Then give yourself more of a diamond frame through the legs. We're going to do a soft fall back, so think hollow belly, rounded back as you fall back. Maybe coming into a supine butterfly, hugging the ankles and the heels in towards your perineum while holding the knees wide. Then close the knees and squeeze both knees towards your chest, allowing the tailbone to lift off the mat. Then reground your left foot, rehugging your right knee towards your chest. Stay here, or maybe you're holding onto the back of the right thigh and you're kicking that leg up towards the sky. Hold the active brace. Try to keep your chin and your back line soft and relaxed. Bending the right knee again, hugging that thigh into your chest and maybe morphing it into half a happy baby, reaching for the undercarriage of your right foot and thinking right knee to armpit. Trying to keep your weight as centered as you can, so try not to roll all of the weight onto the right side of the body. Stay here or morph into a hand to big toe stretch, maybe holding with both hands on around the ball of your foot and tugging the toes, or maybe you'd like to hold them to the calf or the back of your thigh. Ease your way from here back into that supine butterfly, wrapping your hands around your ankles, hugging your heels in towards your perineum, and just allowing your knees to be nice and heavy. Trying not to point your chin up to the sky, so actively trying to relax your chin towards your chest. Then draw the two knees together. Hug your knees gently towards your chest and allow your tailbone to lift off the mat. Reground your tailbone, reground your right foot, re-wrap your hands around the left shin and hug that whole left knee in towards your chest, focusing on keeping your body weight as centered as you can. Then extend the left foot up towards the sky. Kick it. Wrap your hands around the back of your thigh, maybe interlacing the hands and making a little basket of support for your leg. Keep your weight centered. Then start to bend the left knee. Squeeze the thigh in towards your chest, maybe staying here or maybe beginning to bleed into half a happy baby, reaching for the undercarriage of your left foot and tucking that knee in towards your armpit. Maybe beginning to extend the leg line, trying to keep a hold of the toes or the ball of your foot. You could re-wrap around the calf or the back of your thigh. Maybe you'd like to even modify with a strap or a hand towel. Find your way back into your supine butterfly, grabbing for the ankles, hugging the heels in towards your perineum, while allowing the knees to float nice and wide. We're going to find our way from our supine butterfly into corpse pose, letting go of the feet, allowing the legs to splay wide with the toes looking towards the corner of the mat. You're going to lift your shoulders off the mat, resettle the weight of your body into the mat, allow the arms to softly splay out. You're going to find a gentle, almost starfish-like frame on the mat. Blissing out for a few quiet moments in Shavasana, corpse pose. Just starting to notice the gentle rise and fall of your body. Sinking to the breath, so almost body gently lifting off the mat on the inhale, and then body gently falling into the mat on the exhale. Stay here in Shavasana, or you could elect to gently rock up and find your way into a seated frame to end off today's practice. Whether you're seated or lying on the back, make sure that your hands are flipped palm up towards the sky, indicating that you're open and receptive. Close your eyes, take your focus inward, and try to visualize the scene that I'm going to set for you as we end off today's practice with a little visualization nidra exercise. It's late night at a tropical destination getaway. The outside pool is officially closed, but your VIP card allows you access. Settle yourself on a big, poofy lie-low and begin to drift around the intricate pool, complete with grottos, waterfalls, and soft underwater lighting. Trail your fingers through the refreshing water. Sip on your delicious fruity concoction. Feel the bob of the water beneath you. Feel the balmy evening breeze tickling your skin. Hear and relish the silence, punctuated only by the sound of softly falling water. Relax. Enjoy this wicked gift just for you. It's been a long day, a long week, a long month, a long year. Sometimes you need to be just a little bit wicked and spoil yourself. Indulge in some me time. You deserve it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Every time you take that long exhale, just relax, release, unwind. Stay here, drifting on your lilo for as long as you need to. Giving yourself a few moments of quiet to just be. No thoughts clouding your head. Nowhere to be. Just bliss out. Take your few wicked moments of me time, silence, to just bliss out. When you're ready to end off your practice for today, just simply nod your chin to your chest and internalize the words Shanti. Peace within, peace without. Thank you so much for coming out and joining me in our wicked practice today. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, keep it light.